Hello everybody, welcome to X-Plane 11. But we're not in Vulcan yet, which is a bit annoying. I thought it'd be here by now, but nope, it's not here yet. So we have to wait a bit longer. But I'm here because, well, that windsock doesn't really do it justice, but today the UK is getting battered by another ferocious storm. But I'm just going to show you now active sky to show you what I'm talking about here. So here we are in active sky, just to show you some of these reported conditions. Look at that. Winds 200 at 45 knots, gusting 61. That's the kind of weather we're going to have to contend with today. And in fact, we're going to make a little flight plan using active sky. So first of all, we're going to put our destination in, sorry, our departure in, which is Waddington, and we're heading to Norwich today. So that's our first port of call. We're going to cruise fairly low actually. We're going to be at 6,000 feet. And our alternate is going to be Leeds Bradford. In fact, we're actually going to end up there eventually. So we'll just put that in. Right, and we're going to go direct. This is just so I can get the wind information, the proper wind information from active sky itself. So here we are lined up on the runway. Everything is looking good. The wind is so bad today. In fact, it's that bad. If you look to the right hand side of the screen now, I'll put a picture up of my fence in the garden. Yep, that's what I woke up to this morning. I've missed this aircraft. You know, the seat upholstery matches my new chair. My new secret lab chair. So there you are. The immersion's that bit more now. Right, here we go. So far it's not feeling too bad. It might be straight down the runway, but I'm not getting any wind direction yet. Oh, here we go. The wind is just okay, 38 knots, but it's actually completely on the nose. It always helps. It really helps. It makes a big difference if you're heading into the wind and you don't get a side wind or crosswind, which is the same thing. Right. So we'll do a nice bank. Careful of that torque. I'm going to be a bit clunky with this aircraft because I haven't really flown it, as I say, for a couple of months. And these really study level aircraft like the TBM, you kind of have to keep your hand in really and keep doing currency flights because you get sloppy very easy. There's one thing, because it's so damn windy today, the cloud is kind of like dispersed and it's not really too overcast or low down. There's just areas of it, so oh god, we're getting blown around all over the place now. So that means we should have a decent view of the ground. Oh, a bit of rain there, just coming into view on the canopy, just for a moment. That's another thing as well. When it's so windy like this, you're gonna get localized heavy rain, but you're not gonna get any persistent rain as such. As soon as I say that, there is the demonstration of it. So we're getting quite a bit of rain all of a sudden, but that probably won't last very long. It'll be coming in and out. Now I have to say guys, as the True Earth scenery goes by below me, and I've seen quite a lot of shots now of Microsoft Flight Simulator over the UK, you know, Orbx True Earth scenery really does stand up for itself actually, particularly because of the overlay is so customised. I think the only thing you're really gaining in the new Microsoft Sim compared to the True Earth scenery is the underlying ortho is such a lovely nice high resolution. But in terms of the overlay, I think it looks better in X-Plane because you know the Orbx scenery has absolutely tons, thousands of points of interest like cathedrals, churches, bridges, you know, different types of bespoke buildings in cities. Everything is, you know, very bespoke because it's a region that you've had to pay for, obviously, you know. But the Microsoft Flight Simulator scenery in comparisons, it just looks absolutely incredible and very, very, very realistic. But if you want to be really, really picky, it's not going to be able to have the level of accuracy, I suppose, as you would get from an Orbx product, an X-Plane. So that's just something worth considering. You know, there's so much hype about this new flight simulator, and rightly so, but it's not all roses, guys. It's, you know, there's flaws and against for both, and I think I really feel that you should continue to support your favourite developers, because they're going to be the very same developers that are going to need your help right now, because they're going to be struggling. There's no doubt about it. I bet sales have dropped off so badly. These same guys are going to be making, you know, new fancy scenery and aircraft for the new Microsoft Flight Sim, so we do need to support them. And we don't know when it's going to be released, so let's just enjoy what we have right now. That's my view anyway. You may feel different, but that's how I feel about it right now. So we're just going to go overhead Coningsby here. I'm still hand flying at the moment. What we're going to do is take the inertial separator off now. We're going to engage the autopilot. FLC up to 6,000 and nav mode, and we'll go outside quickly and take a look. Okay, as expected, we are now going through a very heavy shower here, so time to put some icing on here, airframe and prop icing, and we're going to put our inertial separator on, very important in icy conditions. And I'm just going to keep looking out on those leading edges for any build-up of ice, since we are right in the clouds here, and currently it's -3. Sorry, outside temperature is 3 Celsius, which actually, that is prime time for icing to build up, so we've got to be very careful here. And with the TBM being so realistic, you can actually hear when the icing hits the aircraft in like clumps. That actually is modelled, and you can hear it in your headset, so I will be looking out for that as well. That's the inertial separator coming on. Look at all that rain, my goodness me. Now at this point we're going to see if we can tune into the ATIS, and I won't do it like that, hang on a second, sorry guys, very clunky today. 12863. In case you're wondering guys, probably haven't mentioned it yet, we're in the Reverb today. I have been enjoying using X-Plane in the Rift S as well. Right, here we go. Let's have a listen in here.
Norwich information, Ciara. 1200 Zulu weather. Wind 210 at 10. Visibility 5. Rain. Sky conditions 1,700 scattered. 5,900 broken.
Now ignore the wind guys, the wind does not, it's incorrect with the X-Plane ATIS. It will always say 5 or 10 knots, which trust me is wrong, as you can see there. And look how we're like going through the air there. Can you see that guys in the corner there? We're crabbing through the air to stay on course. I could probably show you a better view of that. Look at that.
Norwich information, Ciara.
That's amazing. Holy crap.
Wind 210 at 10. Visibility 5. Rain.
What's the cloud base?
Scattered.
Okay, the cloud base and visibility is fine.
29.
Whoops, that's my keyboard. That's just fallen off the... So, the joys of VR. Sometimes things fall over. There we go. Wow, we are already crabbing through it. Right, to get the ATIS, we need to tune into 122 decimal. Oh, I've done that wrong, sorry, hang on. God, I'm so clunky today. It's because I haven't used X-Plane for a while. Okay, let's listen into Norwich, just particularly for the wind.
Echo, Golf, Ciara, Hotel, Airport Information, India, 1250, Zulu, Weather, Wind, 210 at 30, gusting 250, Visibility,
Wow.
9,000, Sky Condition, 1.
Gusting to 50 knots, guys. 50 knots. And you know what? I can hear the... it's really weird. I can hear the rain in the flight sim itself, but I can also hear the real rain outside my window. I can hear it battering my window in the real world. So it's kind of like an all-encompassing, you know, experience right now. Very dramatic. Guys, this is what flight simulation is all about. You know, trying to do things that you would never dare do in real life. Unless you spent thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on training, and even then I don't think it would be much fun to do this in real life. I think you'd be trying to avoid it personally. Just listen to that sound of the rain, guys. Oh my goodness me. We're going to put our weather radar on. Wow, keeping that inertial separator on. Our icing's on. We're coming at the cloud a little bit here. I'm just descending. I'm going to keep descending down to 2,000 feet. The terrain around this area is very flat, so I've got no issues with the hills. Well, I say that, actually Norfolk is a little hilly actually. We could put our synthetic vision on if we need to, but I think for now we're okay. Right, we'll zoom in a bit more as well. $15 miles. Look at the state of that. Oh my god. Oh dear. And we're really getting yucked around. This is great fun, guys. I really would recommend this. We've had quite a lot of storms this winter. You know, I really like kind of really cold, crisp weather, but we're not getting much of that at the moment. One thing I haven't done is that's checked my altimeter settings, so I'll just do that again now. Get our local pressures.
Norwich information, Ciara. 1200 Zulu weather. Wind 210 at
Oh, look at all those red spikes there.
Rain. Sky
Crikey.
conditions 1,700.
We're actually a lot lower than 2,000 feet.
5,900 broken. 29,000 scattered. Temperature 13. Dew point 10. Altimeter 2906.
2906. See,
Runway 27.
that I'm way off.
Departing runway 27.
And you know what this is?
Advise on initial contact.
This is because of Aerofly. This is what Aerofly's done to me. Basically, Aerofly, it's a wonderful sim, but it is lacking in many areas in terms of its realism. So when I go back to X-Plane, I do feel a little bit, what's the word? Clunky.
Visibility 5.
A little bit off my game.
Sky conditions 1,700 scattered. 506. Arriving runway 27. Departing.
Right, so our runway is 27, which means we'll have to go maybe do a downwind if we can visually. We're only about 3 minutes out. Just enough time to show you the leather stitching of these chairs and how it looks exactly the same as my brand new chair. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. And by the way, I'm still absolutely loving my new chair. I haven't really had much chance to put some serious hours sat in it yet, but no, it really is very, very cool. As I say, I thought some people are getting these chairs and expect them to be really, really like a sofa, and they're missing the point. These are chairs to be made to support your back, to make sure that, you know, you're sitting comfortably and not slouching. And for me personally, having, you know, I do suffer with back pain and things like that. I do really, I already can tell the difference. It's a huge difference for me. Wow, right, okay. So, at the moment we are heading direct to the airport. We'll go back here. Right, so I think at this point we'll go into heading mode. And we're going to navigate around it a little bit. I haven't put any ILS in yet, because I say we've got enough visibility just. I'm hoping we'll be able to maintain some visual with the ground here. Oh, that looks... it's just amazing. I love it. Anybody out there who's decided to hang up their virtual flying gloves to wait for the new flight simulator, well, they're very foolish, because what we have right now is absolutely fantastic, and you're missing out, guys. You really are. Look at the state of that out there. Visibility is about 5 miles, but I don't know, I think it's a bit less than that. More like 3 miles. Searching for that airport. Can't really see it. I don't even know if the runway lights will be on. I'm hoping they will. We need to start slowing down actually as well. We've left our landing light on because we're rubbish. And there we go, that is the airport there. Sorry guys, stutter there. That's the airport. So, if we try and maintain a somewhat visual approach from this point onwards, so we need to really slow down and make it a nice tight circuit. See how this goes. 52 knot gust at the moment, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a crosswind as well. And for this, I will be using only one stage of flaps. And I'll be keeping the speed a bit higher than normal to account for those gusts and all that wind shear, because you could quite easily stall the aircraft very easily. Look at that for a view there, with all that rain. Now this, guys, this particular scene here, where it's all murky and you're looking for those little details, this is where I always say screen door is at the all-time, you know, the worst it could be, because all you see is pixels when you look out there, because you're looking at a very kind of faint, like whitish image. There's not a lot of colour there. So in the reverb, this is when it really truly shines. Now I think I can pick out the runway even though the lights aren't on for us. There's no way I'd have been able to pick that out in the Rift S, and not a chance in the old CV1 days. See this scenery with all the you know, colour matched ortho and the trees the way they're placed, it looks very similar to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think, as I say, the only thing that's missing is that really high resolution ortho. If Orbx were to release a high resolution pack option, I think that's kind of all it would need to really, like, even surpass what the Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to give us. But remember, that is out the box though, you know. Right, anyway, we're going to crab in here, keep the speed up a bit more than normal at 110 to 120 knots.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Here we go.
Sync rate.
A bit high, but that's fine. Not too concerned about that. It's about getting down safely. Okay, we're actually a bit quick, but again, I'd rather be too quick than too slow in conditions like this.
Sync rate.
Crabbing
Sync
in.
rate.
On the glide
rate.
slope, just took a screenshot there, so if you saw a stutter, that's what it was. I'm going to kick a bit of right rudder in about now. Oh god, oh my god. And try and settle her out. There we go. Actually, I'm very happy with that. That was once you had it all. Very shaky towards the end, but I just literally hit a really ferocious gust right at the last minute, which often happens. Reverse. And we have made it. Our first VIP will be safely dispatched. Fantastic. Icing can come off. Pitot heat shouldn't be on the ground, so we'll take that off. I must say, it's really nice to be back in X-Plane again. It's such a great simulator, it really is, and I can't wait to see what these Vulcan updates are going to show us. I can't believe it's taken them so long, and this should have happened a year ago, but you know, end of the day, I think that, you know, in previous betas that they've released, they've kind of chucked them out a bit and gone, right, here it is, let us know about the bugs. But in this case, I think they're kind of going for more of a proper release than anything else. I think it still will be a beta, don't get me wrong, but I think it will be a more stable one. They're working with a lot of add-on developers to get this out. So, yeah. To be fair, in all fairness to X-Plane, wow, I can hear loads of rain. You might be able to hear that. That's not the sim. That's on my actual window. It sounds awful out there. But yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to see what... Because at the moment, I'm getting pretty good, decent performance anyway in X-Plane these days. And this particular version I'm running, 11.41, is truly broken when it comes to VRAM. It's not very well optimised at all, and they've admitted that, which, you know, I'm impressed with in itself, I suppose, that they're being very honest about it. So they're having to... so even without Vulcan, if I just use the normal OpenGL application in 1150, it's probably going to run, you know, loads better in itself. Oh my god. I don't know if you can hear that through the microphone, guys, but that's the wind. Can you hear that, guys? It sounds absolutely insane. Okay guys, I thought I'd just come downstairs into the real world to show you what the weather like. Oh my god! Oh, that's crazy. Okay, I'll see you back in the simulator in a minute. I think I prefer to be in VR right now rather than the real world. Okay guys, we're back in the flight simulator again. God, I haven't seen winds like that for many years. That is just very severe indeed. Wow. Okay, so our next stop is going to be Leeds Bradford, so goodness knows what that's going to be like. I've actually just had to stop the recording and save it just in case I end up the actual electric goes off, because that is a high possibility right now. So hopefully we can make it there before any power outages happen. Whew, right, okay. Do you know, if there's one thing that I am excited about with a new flight simulator, it is the weather. I cannot wait to try it out. Right, so we're going to shoot right up. We'll go a lot higher for this one, 9,000 feet, let's say, and see how that pans out for us. Right, set trim to takeoff trim. Pitot heats can come on. Landing light is on. No, it's not. It is now. We'll get back in the cockpit, swaying a bit there. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the rotation speed is just a bit higher. And actually the TBM just flew itself off the runway there. Probably because of the very high levels of wind hitting that fuselage. We're going to get lift a lot sooner. So that is Norwich down there, and there is a very nicely modelled cathedral or huge church, but I'm not sure you can see it today. It's over there, I think, but yeah, you're not going to be able to see it today. Okay, let's get on our flight plan. Hand flying for now, seeing what the plane is doing. 140 knots, we'll go to FLC mode and nav mode. You know, a nice climb in the TBM is 130 knots, but I say, because of all that wind, it is always good to give yourself an extra 10, 20 knots even, because you know you can bleed off speed very quickly in this wind, and before you know it, you're in trouble. God, this is such a great place to be. It really is, especially here today. I'd rather be in VR than outside. Looking really good indeed. And we're heading to my favourite airport really in X-Plane right now for me, be it the Leeds Bradford. It's done so well. I think Orbx's best airport to date so far, for the UK that is anyway. I think their best ever work is the Innsbruck area, which seems to just be, in performance wise, just very well done. And that's what, as I say, I'm really intrigued to see how some of these high resolution airports cope with this new API architecture and the way that high resolution textures are handled. Because I know how they work in Aerofly. Oh, my controller's suddenly out there. Hang on, there we go. Like magic. In Aerofly, you can see the really high definition textures. You can always see the best high definition right in front of you, and then where you don't need to see, you know, it's a lot less. It's just basically good memory management and texture management, and that is something X-Plane is not very good at right now. But hopefully in a not so distant future it will be. That is a great view out there. Look at that. And if by magic, let's go out and have a look on the wing. Very nice indeed. Oh yes. Just pity about these kind of flickering shadows. Sometimes you don't see them, but you can quite clearly see them now, and that's just been a bug since, I don't know, VR, you know, it was a thing in X-Plane, and they just flicker, and you know, sometimes I get used to it so much because it's just part of X-Plane that I kind of forget about it, but actually it does look rubbish. It does look horrendous. But if you look past that, it actually looks really nice, and in some cases, like to our left, it's not so bad. But I'd rather have cloud shadows than none at all, personally. I think they do give a great depth. And this is, I'm using Ultimate Weather XP 2.4. Really, it's the best texture add-on for clouds, for VR users anyway. There has been nothing that's rivaled it at all. And I don't think they will be now for a long time. That looks really nice out there. Very cool. Okay guys, I think I will say goodbye to you and just leave you with a couple of panoramic shots, and I'll see you on approach to Leeds Bradford. I'll see you then. Right, so as we are at cruise altitude at the moment, thought I'd have a look and see what the weather's doing at Leeds Bradford. Okay, so at the moment we've got 37 knots, gusting to 57 with 5 miles visibility. Broken cloud at 1500 feet and broken at 3000 feet. My goodness me. Okay, en route here. If you look at some of the other stations here, just look at some of these figures here that we're showing. 40 knots gusting, 39, 58 at East Midlands. Oh my goodness me, I might even go there. Oh, heavy hail. Oh my, wow. Almost tempted to go there actually instead. Oh, I don't know now, guys. What do you think? Should we have a look? Sod it, let's go to East Midlands to see if we can experience some heavy hail with 58 mile an hour winds, 2 miles visibility. So I think we're going to need the ILS for that one, but yeah, why not? Let's try it. I've got a bit of a death wish today, so let's get back in the sim. Things are about to get pretty damn serious. Oh shit, did you hear that? Oh my god. Right. That sounded amazing in the Reverb's headphones. That sounded amazing. I think that's the ultimate weather again doing its thing. Or it even could be active sky. I'm not quite sure. Okay guys, you join me as we're on a bit of a downwind leg. If you can see out there, there is an airport out there, I promise you, you're just very hard pressed to see it. Trying to maintain a bit of visual here. And we're just going to dump out the landing gear now to slow down. It's very dark inside the cockpit, and I think actually it's gone a bit dark in real life as well, because I'm getting a few controller tracking problems because there's not enough light, because I haven't got my room light on, but never mind. Now we're not getting any hail as such, or I don't think we are. It certainly doesn't seem anything different than just really heavy rain. But nonetheless it's still a huge challenge. Gusting to 50 miles an hour winds. At the moment it's 33 knots. And we're just going to do a bit of a touch and go here before heading to our final destination at Leeds Bradford. Oh, it's really hard to get a stable approach here. The speed is all over the place. We certainly don't want to make the evening news. And I would not want to be driving a lorry in this weather today. Whoa.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
I'm getting what feels like microbursts as well, where I'm dropping like a rock all of a sudden, then hitting another cushion of air underneath. Okay, here we go. Concentrate. Oh, no, 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 no. That was that was a rough landing. That was a very rough landing, but never mind, we are down. I overcorrected there, that was what happened. But that's fine, we're going to be back in the air. One little look at East Midlands Airport as we climb out. It's evil out there today. Haven't seen much live traffic either. I'm not surprised. Right, we're going to climb out of this as quick as we can because this is just horrendous. hear that rain. My goodness me, it sounds so angry. Let's get out of these clouds. Come on TBM, I need all of your power. Let's get out of these horrible clouds. God, it does feel real though. Very, very realistic. And I'll just keep this view to the left as we break out. See how the weather handles it from this crazy, really, really high winds and heavy rain to getting above. Just got to keep checking my airspeed here. Nearly 4,500 feet nearly. Breaking clear. Very slowly. Rain is, in fact that looks a bit like snow. That is snow. Oh right, okay. Or that could be hail, that could be the yeah, I should say that's probably a bit sort of sleet. But that's definitely a different colour and it's not making that noise, that rain sound anymore, so I presume that's because it's softer, it's hitting the aircraft, which means icing. So we're going to just put some icing on, icing deterrent. I was hoping to get away from these clouds, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to at this rate. No icing so far though, which I am surprised about, but that's good. I'm starting to think whether we should have just carried on low down rather than try and outclimb these clouds. Have a look at our weather radar again. Nearly at 10,000 feet now. Mind you, we are heading up north, and it generally tends to get worse as you get up north. Just when I think we're going to break out, we get back in again. Oh, hang on, this is looking a bit more... No? Yes? Bit of blue sky coming. Here we go. Finally we're breaking free, and hopefully that rain will stop in a moment. We do have some clouds, there we are, but look at that, that is really a nice transition there. You know, I mean, I know it explains weather is the as much as, you know, leaves a lot to be desired, but when you know, use add-ons like Active Sky, you can see there it really does a great job of smoothing out some of them transitions. That was pretty damn realistic. We're now at 12,000 feet, so we need to level out here, get back on course, and head to our final destination today, Leeds Bradford. Okay guys, so as you can see here, it is very clear, which I wasn't expecting, and it's like what I said, even though it's probably scattered at low level, because the wind will be breaking that cloud up like crazy, and you know, whatever the cloud forecast will be, in a few minutes time it will be different again. We're getting quite a few stutters here as well, guys, so sorry about that. That again is because we're going to another highly detailed airport, but they will settle down in a moment. These are the things I'm really looking forward to with Vulcan, those sorts of things being a thing of the past, but we shall see. We shall certainly see. But there, off our nose there is Leeds City. And yeah, it's actually really clear. The visibility is pretty decent, but with this clear sky, it's going to mean we're going to get probably the hardest winds we've had so far on this trip. It's going to be the most challenging. So we're going to go for gear down now. And I can see the runway in sight. Just wish some of these stutters would calm down a bit. I guess I'm more susceptible to the stutters than I used to be because I'm so used to Aerofly now and how smooth that sim is all the time. I would go out for a external view, but I'm having to battle these winds so much. I think we'll just keep in the cockpit for this one. In fact, I'll put the yoke on so you can see what my CH Eclipse yoke is having to endure here. You probably can't see the runway yet, but trust me, it is there. And we're going very slow through the air as well because we're hitting a 50 knot. In fact, it's going to be a crosswind yet again. So another crab angle here. And we've also got that really undulating sloped runway to deal with as well. Okay guys, so here we are on the glide slope. Actually we're now below the glide slope, but I'm not too concerned about that. Look at that sloped runway, it just looks stunning. And we are crabbing in here with it's a crosswind component of a 35 knots at the moment, but it is gusting to 50 knots. So let's see if we can do a decent job here for our last landing. Famous last words. And there we go. Right rudder, getting quite a few stutters here as well. That is probably because of the synthetic vision. And we've made it! We have made it safe and sound. Welcome to Leeds, Bradford. God, I'm still getting thrown around here. We're going to exit to the left here for the GA parking area. So we've battled hail, winds of up to 60 miles an hour, low visibility, lightning, just basically everything, and we've managed to survive. Great fun indeed. I think it's time for a coffee after that. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I might even try this very flight once again. Save the weather in Active Sky, because I love that feature of Active Sky. You can use historical weather. And do all this again when Vulcan arrives to see what the difference is in performance. Be quite interesting, wouldn't it? I am planning to do a series of tests once Vulcan arrives to see what, if anything, what the improvements are. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm actually nearly at 1,000 subscribers, which I never dreamed would ever happen. So thank you so much for all your support. Yeah, and I'll see you again very soon.